there, coffee lovers. Rhonda here, and today we're getting real about something we all deal with. You know that moment when you're about to try something new or chase after a big dream, and suddenly this annoying little voice pops in your head? The one that's like, whoa, who do you think you are? Or maybe you should stick to what you know. Yeah, that voice. The professional party pooper that loves to rain on our parade. Well, today on Tough Coffee Shop Talk, we're going to dig into these pesky thoughts, what I like to call limiting beliefs, and why they're living rent-free in our heads for way too long. So grab your favorite cup of coffee, get cozy, and let's have an honest chat about kicking these unwanted mental health guests to the curb. Trust me, by the end of this episode, you'll be ready to show that doubting voice the door and step into your full potential. Let's dive right in. So what exactly are limiting beliefs? Think of them as these invisible barriers we create in our minds. They're like mental rules that dictate what we think is possible of ourselves. They're those internal thoughts that hold us back, often running in the backgrounds of our minds without us even realizing it. Do you ever catch yourself thinking money is hard to come by, or success always requires struggles? These are classic limiting beliefs about how our world works. Or how about in your career? It might sound like, I'm not smart enough for that promotion, or I'm too old to switch careers. And in relationships, it could be, I'll never find love, or I don't deserve a healthy relationship. Most of us don't even realize we have these beliefs. They feel so natural or true that we accept them without question. But here's the thing. Just because we believe something doesn't make it true. To determine how we break these limiting beliefs, we first need to understand how we got them in the first place. Limiting beliefs can come from our childhood experiences, and in family dynamics and parenting messaging, it could be, money doesn't grow on trees, or we're not rich people, repeatedly being said to you during childhood. Or perhaps you had a parent who always said, be realistic whenever you shared big dreams, inadvertently teaching you to limit your ambitions. Or school experiences. Picture being placed in the lower reading group in 3rd grade and carrying that I'm not smart enough belief forward. Or getting a poor grade on a math test and having the teacher suggest that maybe math just isn't your subject, leading you to avoid any number-related things for years. Or perhaps you remember trying out for the school basketball team, missing a few shots and deciding you're not athletic. Or attempting to draw something that didn't look perfect included, I'm not creative, after just one try. Consider the impact of authority figures' words and actions. For example, music teacher announcing to the class that you're tone deaf after one bad singing performance. Or a coach benching you during an important game with the comment, you're just not cut out for competitive sports. Finally, cultural and religious upbringing influences might include growing up in a community where certain careers were considered inappropriate for your gender, or where questioning traditions were discouraged with phrases like, that's just not how we do things. Or maybe your religious upbringing emphasized humility to the point where any form of self-promotion felt wrong and sinful. You may have variations of one or many of these things in your life from your childhood past. Limiting beliefs can also come from past traumas. So a student freezing during a class presentation in 6th grade, leading to a lifelong fear of public speaking. Or missing the game-winning shot in an important high school basketball game, resulting in a belief of, I crack under pressure. Getting rejected from your dream college, internalizing, I'm not smart enough. You could have experiences that you were rejected or criticized. So being told you're not creative enough by an art teacher, leading to abandoning artistic pursuits. Getting passed over for a promotion with feedback like lack of leadership qualities. Being excluded from a friend group in middle school, creating trust issues. Or perhaps your parents divorced, which led to you having difficulty maintaining relationships. Or maybe you were bullied about your weight and now you have long-term body image issues. Or constant comparison to a more successful sibling, resulting in paternal self-doubt. Even a single experience can create these limiting beliefs. So perhaps an embarrassing dating experience leading to a fear of romantic rejection, or a failed business venture causing resistance to taking future risks. Or one harsh criticism about writing could derail your academic or writing career. And then the opposite of this is multiple repeated disappointments. So maybe you have multiple failed relationships, reinforcing the I'm unlovable, or consistent job rejections, building that belief that I'm unemployable, or academic struggles that's like, I'm just not smart enough. And of course, one of the biggest sources of limiting beliefs, the world around us. Every day we're bombarded with messages about who we should be, how we should look, what success means. Think about it. From the moment we wake up and check our phones, we're hit with these images and stories of perfect lives shaping our perception of normal or ideal. The media has always played a huge role in our lives. Magazines, TV shows, advertisements, they're creating these unrealistic standards of beauty and success and lifestyle that make us feel like we're somehow falling short. And now with social media, it's amplified times 1,000. We're constantly comparing our lives behind the scenes to everyone else's highlight reel. Society's has these unwritten rules. If you're a woman, you should be this way. If you're a man, you should be that way. If you're from a certain cultural background, these are your beliefs. These stereotypes can box us in before we can even realize it's happening. Even our peer groups, while often supportive, can unknowingly reinforce these limitations. How many times have you heard friends say things like, that's just not realistic, or people like us don't do that? These casual comments can become the voice in our head that holds us back, playing on loops. Here's what's wild though. Social media algorithms are literally designed to keep feeding us content that matches our existing beliefs. If you're feeling insecure about something and engaging in that content, guess what? You'll see more of that content, creating this endless loop of reinforcement. But here's the empowering part. Once you recognize these external influences, you can start questioning them. Ask yourself, is this belief really mine? Or is this something I've been programmed to accept? Just because society says something should be a certain way, doesn't make it true for you, does it? Now that we understand what limiting beliefs are and how they form, let's explore their real impact on our lives and learn how to recognize them. Limiting beliefs are like invisible chains that hold us back in ways we might not even realize. Let's break down their effects. First, look at how they show up in our behavior. We start avoiding challenges, procrastinating on important tasks, or playing it too safe. We become masters of self-sabotage, often without even knowing it. Emotionally, these beliefs hit us hard. They crush our self-esteem, fuel anxiety, and keep us living in fear. Ever felt that knot in your stomach when considering a new opportunity? That's often your limiting beliefs talking. In our professional lives, these beliefs can be career killers. They keep us stuck in jobs we've outgrown, make us pass up promotions, or settle for less pay when we deserve it. I've seen so many talented people stay in their comfort zones because they believe they weren't good enough for something better. Personally, these beliefs can wreak havoc on our relationships and our happiness. They stop us from expressing ourselves, pursuing our dreams, or allowing ourselves to receive love and success. So how do you know if limiting beliefs are holding you back? Listen for absolute statements in your self-talk. If you catch yourself saying, I never, I can't, or it's impossible, you've just spotted one. And watch out for those yes but excuses too. Here's a quick self-check exercise. Ask yourself, what do I believe is impossible for me? What patterns keep repeating in my life? Where do I feel stuck? What do I believe I don't deserve? Take a moment to reflect on these questions. Your answers might reveal that limiting belief that have been quietly controlling your life. Understanding these impacts and recognizing our limiting beliefs is crucial because it's the first step towards breaking free of them. Now, let's explore why limiting beliefs can be so stubborn and hard to shake. Even when we recognize these limiting beliefs aren't serving us, they often persist for several key reasons. First, they protect our comfort zone. Think of limiting beliefs as your brain's security guard. They keep you in familiar territory where you feel safe, even if that territory is smaller than it needs to be. Second, there's a fear of change. Challenging our limiting beliefs means stepping into uncertainty. Your brain would rather stick with known limitations than risk the unknown, even if that unknown could be better. Then we have this self-fulfilling prophecy effect. When you believe you can't do something, you act in ways that make that belief come true. For example, if you believe you're bad at public speaking, you might avoid opportunities to speak, never improve, and reinforce that initial belief. Confirmation bias plays a huge role too. Our brains are excellent at finding evidence that supports our existing beliefs while dismissing evidence that contradicts them. If you believe you're unlucky, you'll remember every misfortune while overlooking your moments of good fortune. Finally, there's identity preservation. Our limiting beliefs often become deeply woven into our sense of self. Challenging them can feel like challenging who we are at our core. If you've always seen yourself as not a math person, letting go of that belief means reimagining part of your identity. Understanding these mechanisms helps explain why simply recognizing a limiting belief isn't enough to break free from it. These beliefs persist because they are part of a complex psychological system designed to maintain stability, even if that stability isn't serving our highest good. Breaking free from limiting beliefs is like unlocking a cage you didn't even really know you were in. Today, we're giving you the keys. So let's start with awareness techniques, because you can't change what you don't recognize. Think of awareness as turning on the lights in a dark room. One powerful technique is journaling. Take 5 minutes each morning to write down your thoughts without filtering them. What patterns do you notice? What stories keep repeating? Many of you know who've listened to the podcast, I am a journaler and I journal in the morning. And this is a great way just to, almost like talking out loud, but you're writing it down. And it's a great way to just see things from a different perspective. So I highly recommend it. Another technique would be mindfulness meditation. It's not about clearing your mind. It's about observing your thoughts without judgment. Think of yourself as sitting on a riverbank, watching your thoughts float by like leaves in the water. This practice helps you recognize when limiting beliefs are at play. And here's a practical tip. Start trigger tracking. Notice the situations that activate your limiting beliefs. Maybe it's team meetings or social gatherings, or when you're about to try something new. Understanding these triggers is like having an early warning system. Now I'd like to talk about challenge strategies. This is where we start questioning these beliefs. Remember, just because you think something doesn't make it true. I'd like you to try the evidence collection exercise. You write down your limiting belief and then list every piece of evidence that contradicts it. You might be surprised in how little actual evidence supports your limiting belief. Another exercise is you ask yourself what if questions. What if the opposite of your limiting belief was true? What if you were capable? What if you were enough? These questions open doors to new possibilities. After you've spent some time challenging these beliefs, we can move into changing them. Start creating empowering belief statements. Instead of, I'm not good at public speaking, try, I'm learning and improving my speaking skills every day. Remember, your brain believes what you tell it repeatedly. Set some small, achievable goals that directly challenge your limiting beliefs. If you believe you're not athletic, start with a 5-minute daily walk. Build up gradually. Each small win is evidence against your limiting beliefs. If your limiting belief is that you're not good with money, start by tracking your spending for just 5 minutes each evening. Save $5 a week for a month, gradually increasing to 10 and then 15. Or perhaps your belief is that you're not creative. Doodle for 3 minutes a day. Write 1 sentence of a story each day. Progress to 5 minutes of writing or doodling. And maybe your belief is that you are bad at public speaking. Practice speaking in front of a mirror for 2 minutes. Record a 30-second voice note. Share your thoughts in a small group meeting. The point is to start small and gradually work your way up. Support systems are crucial in this journey. You don't have to do it alone. Find an accountability partner who will understand your goal, or join a mastermind group where you can share experiences and learn from others. Regular check-ins with mentors can help provide perspective and guidance when you feel stuck. I have a few more questions for you. I want you to ask yourself, what evidence do I have that this belief is actually true? Often you'll find that it's based on an old experience or someone else's opinion. Ask, how is this belief serving me? If it's not helping you grow, it's time to let it go. Consider, what would be possible if I believed the opposite? This question opens up new horizons of possibility. And finally, what would I be without this thought? This question can be truly liberating. And please remember, breaking free is a journey, not a destination. Starting with one belief, one step at a time. You don't have to tackle everything at once. Choose just that one limiting belief that's holding you back the most and begin there. As we wrap up today's episode, I want to leave you with some important reminders. Every limiting belief you have right now was learned at some point in your life. And here's the beautiful thing. What can be learned can also be unlearned. You're not stuck with these beliefs forever. Change isn't just possible, it's inevitable when you commit to challenging these old stories. Think about it. You're not the same person you were 5 years ago, and you won't be the same person 5 years from now. The question is, will you actively participate in that change? Here's what I want you to do this week. Start small. Choose just one limiting belief that's been holding you back. Write it down. Then write down 3 pieces of evidence that prove that belief might not be completely true. That's it. Just start there. Remember, you don't have to make massive changes overnight. Small steps, taken consistently, lead to incredible transformations. You have so much more potential than you realize. And you're capable of far more than those limiting beliefs would have you believe. This is Rhonda Lavoie, and you've been listening to Tough Coffee Shop Talk. Until next time, keep challenging those beliefs, keep growing, and keep showing up for yourself. You've got this. If you found value in today's conversation, please hit that subscribe button or follow. I'd love to continue supporting you on your path to personal transformation week after week. Ready to take that next step in breaking through your limiting beliefs? Visit tuffinstitute.com. That's TUFinstitute.com to learn more about our membership program. And if you're curious about my real estate journey and services, head over to Rhonda Lavoie at exprealty.com. You can also connect with me on social media if you want to keep this conversation going. You can find me on Instagram at RhondaLavoie_tough or on Facebook at Rhonda Lavoie eXp Realty. Remember, you're capable of so much more than you imagine. Until next week, keep challenging those beliefs and expanding your possibilities. Have a fantastic week, everybody.